To a Light Priestess Temple. This is a very, very special Creator Spotlight. We are live and we are in the Activate Your Mastery free online summit open house. And I am with one of our mastery presenters, global leadership coach, Jessica Hadari. And I am so excited to see you and be with you, sister. And I want to share a little bit about Jessica, how powerful she is. She is a global leadership coach, and she is the founder of the Spiritual Women's Light Leaders Network and the Feminine Frequency Festival. And for over 15 years, Jessica has celebrated events in Northern California and globally, and they create a new paradigm and centered around wisdom, sharing, and collaboration. And welcome, Jessica.
Thank you so much for having me here. And for those of you that are chiming in, I just have to give the biggest kudos and gratitude to you, Jennifer, for what you are creating here. It's like we're about to step into this weekend of women coming together, over 500 women,
Mhm.
who have signed up to be in this incredible container that you've created, Jennifer, and just what you are holding, the vision for us to collectively manifest, to kind of reach that next octave as a community is just so incredible. So Jennifer, thank you for
Oh,
everything that you do and are doing, and I'm so honored to be here in this beautiful space that you create and curate.
oh, thank you, sister. And it takes us coming together. This is all about unlocking your full sacred potential as a divine feminine leader. And, the paradigms, the new energies coming in are all brand new. This is a new wave coming in, and even all these solar flares. I mean, it's been intense. And today is a triple 2 day. So it's February 22nd. You have 3 2s. It's all about union. So we're two here today. So we're creating that union and that next level of divine feminine leadership and stepping into your message. If you have a message and you're wanting to share it, but maybe the confidence isn't there, or you're like, oh, what are people going to say, or you're not clear, or you feel like your breakthrough is maybe just out of reach, or you have some blocks, or you feel stuck sometimes. Well, when you're in the flow of the divine feminine energy, we go through all of it, don't we, Jessica? And so I really want us to open up this. We were even talking before about stepping into leadership and what that looks like. And, what is the new divine feminine leader? What is that in,
Hmm.
like, what do you feel that is? And beloveds, if you feel, please share and comment and chat. We're on many channels right now. We want to hear from you.
Hmm.
Jessica, what do you feel that is?
Yeah, such a multi. I feel like there's many facets that could be spoken to. So I'll just kind of like feel into what wants to come through, because I feel like there's probably 8 different things that could be said about this wave of feminine leadership. Because I do feel like there have been previous waves, previous generations, if you will, of women
Mhm.
stepping into their feminine leadership, divine feminine leadership. I think this wave is absolutely tied to women linking arms and moving forward together, like fully unlayering, releasing our lone wolf tendencies, our tendencies to just like, I'll just do it myself and I'm going to pull myself up by my bootstraps and I'm going to make it happen. That kind of almost more like masculine old paradigm stuff that still creeps in, even with very aware, awakened women. That old stuff is still sometimes there where I'm just going to do it myself. It's just easier to just do it all on my own, or
Mhm.
not fully opening up to community and support.
Mhm.
And I think that's a huge piece, linking arms, moving forward together, creating opportunities in our businesses and our lives for collaboration, like true win-win collaboration is a huge piece. And another thing that I've just heard a lot of women speak of in these kinds of conversations is also just this like healthy balance, a healed balance between divine masculine and divine feminine, which isn't necessarily talking about gender in terms of men and women. It's more within ourselves, bringing those all of those facets forward, the strengths of that inner kind of Shiva Shakti. Uh,
Mhm.
so I think there are probably some other priestesses that can speak more powerfully to that piece, but the community piece, women coming together, and collective leadership, collective manifesting, that's something that I think is incredibly important and part of this wave.
I agree, and I remember living in California and in Northern California and meeting you, and how you gather women is just so powerful, and you let them express themselves. We were talking further, you let them, share their event or post their flyer at your and on a table. I love that you let, and that really showed me that women do support each other, and we have many multiple lanes. You have facets for your gifts and masteries to come out, and we want you to shine. And I really saw that in you when I met you, and the women that are around you, and that were in that beautiful goddess event that I attended with you, or that you held. And I just saw that, and I was not on really on my path yet. I think I held a couple moon circles, but I was terrified because I had remembrances of old lives, in other incarnations, when you do not gather women in public. It is not safe. And my body remembered it. And I had run a clothing business. I had been very successful, but gathering 16 women at the Sebastopol Yoga Center was like terror. And I had a lot of growth, and I've gone through huge learning curve and huge expansion. And maybe sisters out there also, they have ideas and gifts and visions. And then it's like, oh, but what will people say? And
Mm,
oh, what will I look like? And how, when they all look at me and I have to speak these truths, and how, what, when. And so they stop.
mm,
They don't share, and they don't, and the song within them may never come out.
mm,
And that is, I ask the sisters out there right now, is the song within you. This is the divine feminine leadership. This is you leading through your message. Is Are you going to keep that song within you, or are you going to share it and help
mm.
lead and play a bigger role in humanity? What do you feel when you talk to your clients and your leaders that you circle with? I know you have like high councils of leaders that you work with in your business and in your beautiful path. What do you hear from women that how like to be more visible or share their message when maybe they're like, I'm not sure.
Mm. Oh, absolutely. And I just want to name that these like tender, sometimes nervous places around being visible, I
Mhm.
see in women at every stage of their leadership. It is just this collective part of, I would say, almost like a shadow, for lack of a better word, that we are all transmuting in this particular lifetime,
Mhm.
hopefully, so that our daughters and future generations of women leaders won't have to do such a deep dance with the edge of visibility. And so
Mhm.
I wanted to name that it's like anytime we're growing, expanding, becoming more visible in any way, whether you're just starting out, just stepping into maybe newly, running women's circles or becoming a healer, or you've already been doing that for many years, but you're ready to step out in a bigger way or be seen in a bigger way, that tenderness of moving through those kind of crunchy, edgy places, it's there. So I'll just say that conversation comes up, in privacy with clients, with colleagues, when we're just on the phone, just heart connecting.
Mhm.
I did like an old fashioned phone symbol. But when we're connecting, like that, I just, that comes up in almost every conversation around visibility. So I just wanted to name that, just to bring in this layer of like empathy, and like you're not in it alone if you're having that experience of like, I know I need to or want to step out in a bigger way, but I feel a little bit like protective.
Mhm.
And I think some of it is tied to what you were talking about, Jennifer, about, way back when you were kind of running your first women's circle, and just old previous lifetime stuff coming up. And I think
Mhm.
that is some of what we're moving through, for sure. There's still lineage healing that's happening, and it's necessary. Um,
Mhm.
and that's a big part of it, I think, for sure. Um, Yeah, so let's see, let me talk about the light side just real quick. So, it's interesting because I think this ties into what I was saying about women linking arms and moving forward together. It's like,
Mhm.
you don't necessarily have to be out there with your message all alone. It's like you, Jennifer, have
Mhm.
called in this event where they're actually kind of, you are kind of the gatekeeper. You are holding the space, but you've called in the three of us, the three other women who are part of it, to just kind
Mhm.
of hold that circle with you. And it also, the cool thing about that is that it doesn't rest on your shoulders alone to bring all of the gifts and the wisdom of the magic. You get to bring your unique piece, but
Mhm.
then you also get to have these other sisters where we're bringing in our unique piece as well. And the whole community is served by that.
Yes.
So I love the idea of, one of the, maybe a little bit of medicine, a little bit of a cure for this, nervousness around visibility is, where can you be visible where you are like this with another sister?
Mhm.
It's a wonderful thing about things like podcasts or interview series. It's like you're not the only one transmitting. Where can you co-create and in the process, lift each other up higher, lift your communities higher together? That I think
Mhm.
that's a really wonderful little medicine that you don't have to be visible all by yourself. Yeah,
That
I'll
is
leave it at that.
that is so powerful. It's not the Piscean hero's journey any longer. It's the Aquarian age, and it's transparency, union, heart-centered, and the heroine's journey. We are all together and walking together. It's like the new oneness. I even know that when you're bringing in new energies or new codes, like we do in our containers, is the bigger codes come in when we come together. Like spirit is like, it's not going to be like, oh, I'm going to go download this, on my own. That's going to be like the old paradigm. Us coming together, that when they see we get along and we're co-creating, then we open this new energy, and that is the golden age. I mean, that's where we're going, and that's why we are gathering in the summit, because we are creating this new energy. And what I've been shown with our summit, it comes in with me as they show me something as a simple summit, like, oh, okay, simple, and then it gets like, as the sisters come in, it becomes so much more powerful, because I think they want me to say yes. you know and so I say yes, and then I start, and then it becomes, what I'm being shown is these wisdoms that are coming through us when we step into this activated container of light this weekend, is we're changing and we're gridding a new way of the divine feminine leaders. That means just stepping into your message and just sharing who you are, is what I feel leadership is. And we're creating change on the planet. Like, we're literally going to grid it for all humanity. It's becoming this incredible, because of when you come together with so many, it amplifies the field. And we're going to be opening this. And day one is you discover your soul gifts and masteries. Day two, which is when Jessica's sharing, it will be embodying, and we'll go deeper and embody your soul gifts and masteries. And then third is you activate, we'll go right up. So it's taking you on this journey. It's a 3-day summit activation. And Jessica is going to be sharing on day two. And she's going to be activate your energy to call in and lead your global community. So, Jessica, share with us about a little bit about how this subject or how your offering kind of came together, and how you feel this is so important now for the women to call in and lead their community and activate.
Mm.
Share more about
Mm.
like what you're offering, and where, like, the root of it or the inspiration it came from.
Absolutely. Yeah, so the inspiration I think came in some ways through yet again, we were having a collaborative conversation a little while back and talking about community, and it was just, and I think we were talking about this event, and and I just want to name that too, that there is something about, sometimes I'll be working with a client, she might be like in a tangle around trying, and I can tell she's trying to figure out something all by herself, like just she's in her head trying to figure it out. And it's just like, okay, why don't you like take the next week to just heart connect with some sisters, like dear entrepreneurial friends or dear sisters that like really get you, just to kind of have that dialogue, because I find in like the conversation you and I are having, answers just come. Like it's just like ding ding ding, this information is just flowing in when we're in that heart connection. So we were in a heart connected conversation, and it was just like, what it was a little bit like, yeah, Jessica, like what are what are you going to bring to this weekend? And it just kind of came through. It was just, okay, we were talking about community. It's like, let's talk about creating community around your message or your mission or your vision or your business. Like, what is it to call in your community? So the seed really was you, Jennifer. So thank you for being a catalyst. And I think also just based on, my many years of gathering women in circles and programs and retreats, really since I was 18, it's just always been a part of this deep need in me to just be with women, gather with women. And in terms of some of what we'll be diving into, the piece that I'm leading on Saturday, it's meant to be very experiential. Like, I'm actually going to have the women do some inquiry, some journaling. I'm going to put on some beautiful goddessy music. And it's really kind of, calling in community, but from that place where it is aligned with your soul purpose. And it's like your whole event is all about activating your purpose. So they'll have done some discovery, and by the time they get to Saturday, it's like, okay, having some additional clarity. And then how does that tie in with, okay, if I want, for example, my message to get out to the masses, well, calling in the masses, but in a way that's very aligned with my path, right? It's not just anybody, everybody, but like really the people that are meant to hear my message. And what are my deepest prayers and intentions for those people, right? So what is the reciprocity of, it's not just about gathering people to like get something or to have a bigger following or have a bigger email list. It's really like, because there's this communion that's available in community, when your transmission is being received by people that are our divine match. And so then tapping into what are your prayers and intentions for them, for that communion. So we'll be diving into just some of that like soul stuff, that I think is really important as a key to manifesting, right? To have clarity on that reciprocity and that energy of calling in and receiving community, I think is a huge piece of the key, the secret sauce to manifesting.
I love that. I love manifesting. That's like, calling in what you want. But I love how you phrased it, that you're going to be supported and being supported and having sisters circle around your message. Like, I would love that you're going to be asking them like about their message, like, what is your message? And then giving that support. So sisters out there listening, would you like support around fine tuning your message and being able to broadcast that out to your dream clients and your dream soul business, and having that where beautiful beloveds that you want to work with are seeking you out? That is, how many of you out there right now, I'd love to hear your comments or your questions, like how many want that in their life? Have your, not only stand in your message, but then have everyone like, yeah, sister, where can I sign up? Where can I get a session? Yeah, I love that. I love that, sister.
Yeah. Yeah, the word resonance comes through as I heard you kind of ask this inquiry to the audience, to the women who are witnessing this today. I loved that word came through.
Yeah, it's so powerful to think that you don't have to just sit there and figure it out and you're on your kitchen table with your pad and paper, is that you can come into a container of light of other divine feminine leaders. So you're going to be with 500 other divine feminine leaders in live and in replay. We're going to have breakout rooms. You're going to meet some of your sisters. We're making it so it's like a real tangible live connection, like we're sitting in circle in a yoga center in Northern California, having that connection where we can come from all parts of the globe and realize how similar we are and how you have support and you have sisterhood and you have community, and we're here and we're calling you in. And I just, that's so powerful what you've been sharing. And that is why this call came through me. Definitely. I love
So
that.
beautiful. So
Oh,
beautiful what you're creating. I'm so excited for the event.
Yeah, so am I. And I have a question for you, Jessica. With all of your experience, you kind of mentioned the secret sauce. I would love to know, for our beautiful beloveds that'll watch this in replay and join us in the summit, is what is one thing or secret that you found that creates more confidence to speak your message in your life and share your gifts. What is one thing that you have found in your clients and in your own life that can create a little more confidence so that you can share your message? Have you something
Yes,
that opens that within you?
totally. So this is like also ties in because when I'm working one-on-one with my business coaching clients, oftentimes we're working on their message because I have a background as a professional copywriter. And one of the things that I have them do is they'll craft something. Maybe it's a social media post, maybe it's an email they're about to send to their list, or a page on their website, where they've crafted their message. They've put it in a form that other people are going to see or hear.
Mhm.
Maybe it's a workshop or a talk that they're going to give. I always encourage them to, I call it bring it to circle, because I run these little business sister mind circles that are like small and intimate. And I encourage them to bring it to circle and let us lovingly look at that message, hear that message first, and also give loving feedback around which parts really resonate and any parts that might just need to be like tweaked or refined or whatever, in a very loving way, so that when they post it or email it or give that talk, they show up knowing that it's going to land, because these other women in the circles that they brought it to for witness have already told them, ooh, this resonates. Ooh, I got goosebumps. Ooh, when you said this, I just, mind blown. And that way they're putting out a message that has already been lovingly held, and it's not just like throwing spaghetti against the wall, which I think a lot of people do with their message, like, will it stick? Will it land? So it just removes that doubt, because they know that they're in some way showing up with the energy of those other women that have said yes.
That is so powerful. I mean, I feel like it's coming back to community. Everything that we have shared today, it comes back to being in with others, that you don't have to do it alone and you don't have to walk alone. I think that's so powerful that they can share and get feedback from other sisters that are entrepreneurs and also building businesses and are on that same wavelength. That how powerful. The results must just be next level when they can get that, when they are in community.
Yeah.
Wow. That is the secret sauce, is really being in community. And that's what I feel is the number one thing of what I'm seeing the breakthroughs in my community is when when they are consistently in activated containers of light, they amplify their new energies, their new soul codes, their new gifts and masteries. And I see transformation in my community, and I get testimonials and I get thank yous because they're like have all new offerings because they opened up a new level in themselves. And I feel like that's what's happening in the divine feminine leadership, is we're being asked to go to our next level, and we need to do it together. It's a big one, the new golden age. Yeah, what do you feel about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Um, yeah, it's interesting. This conversation is reminding me that, back when I was, very young, 18, and just starting to kind of go to women's circles, and then shortly after hosting women's circles in my living room for years before it wasn't a business. It was just, it's like, I just really need to be around women. It was back then tied to some like sister wound stuff that I knew that I had just from, sometimes girls are mean in junior high, and just, there's just ways that we have sometimes tenderness around our connections with women. And I was just like, I really want to overcome that. Okay, I'm going to surround myself with women. uh, but what I was able to witness over the years, and just being in circle with women so resonates with what you were just talking about. There's something about, like, as each sister rises, it's like the whole group rises.
Hmm.
And there's something about being in a container of women that are all holding highest intentions and prayers for each other, and you talk about the like containers of activated light, that
Hmm.
that in itself is transformative, where it doesn't require not therapy, coaching, um, doing process oriented work incredibly powerful, right? Incredibly powerful. But there's something about the magic of sitting with other women who all have an intention to raise frequency in themselves, in each other collectively, holding that highest intentions and prayers with one another, for one another, that it just tangles, it unblocks blocks. It has its own, there's a transmutation that happens just from sitting with other women in a light container. So I love that you spoke to that, because I've witnessed that happen so many times over the years.
That is so, I feel like that is the golden age. That I love how you said holding prayers and blessings for each other, because when we're in that amplified container of light and we're opening our hearts and sharing that love, everyone rises. It's not about like, I'm going to get it and, the old way and I'm just going to step on you. Like, I feel like that was as I grew up, I felt like that I got stepped on a little, like that was a little more that paradigm. And then I'm going to step back, then we do the whole, when we're young, we don't know any different. And it is tough in junior high school, let me tell you. Um,
Yeah.
and now I feel that as we lift each other and we rise together. We do it together, and we gain from it by
Mm,
opening our hearts. It lifts us up. We help each other. We create collaboration. We create love. We create a new frequency, that coherent heart field, and it takes us and it opens that new dimension of this new age, and then all this floods in that magnetic field, and then all of it floods in. It's by giving and being open, and it all comes in. That's what I'm seeing in my life and in where we're going. And I feel like you just spoke to that so beautifully. How do
mm, mm. Yeah, yeah. So important. And I think the key is, really is beyond women coming together, because I've definitely stepped into women's containers, even that were like meant to be meant to be transformative, but where I still felt those tendrils of kind of competition or cattiness or kind of hierarchy. And so I think really the key is it's not just women coming together, but this piece that you and I think are both speaking to, of where there is this underlying collectively held intention of lifting one another higher. And the word reverence comes in. It's almost like unconditional reverence,
Mhm.
in the same way that we talk about, unconditional love or uh, compassion as a practice, right? Unconditional reverence being held among women. Um, yeah, I feel like, yes. And that is so much the container that you create, Jennifer. Really, it's like, I feel that around this event that's coming up here in a few days. It's like you just have cast this incredible, beautiful container that we're stepping into. And because within you, there is, as a part of your values, is this piece that we're talking about, just like women come together as equals, in harmony, holding highest intentions and prayers in our collective light leadership, then that is what will show up. That is what will be. That is what will be. And that
Mhm.
we'll be able to take that and carry that forward into our communities that we create afterwards.
Yes, I believe in that. I feel like everyone is a master. We're all equals. I feel like we're all just at different stages, and it's not teacher student any longer. We're all equals. You are a master and creator and wayshower of the new golden age. Everyone who's listening or will listen to this, and I feel and I know it. And that's why we're all here at this time to open a new age. And we're just all have some of us need a bit of help breaking down some barriers or some walls or some fear or some trauma or some woundings, just to shine that light. But that is what we're going to be doing this weekend, is activating and unlocking your full sacred potentials, stepping into your leadership, being held by sisters, rising with sisters, rising into your, I'm getting chills on my legs, which is a big yes, getting boost bumps, is I just see it. And I see that on the February 26th, our third day, it's total transformation. I'm seeing like a rebirth or resurrection. I'm seeing where that light within you that you know is there will be able to fully come out, and you will walk and sing your song and share your message. And that is what that breakthrough that and that next level that you want to go to. Others are waiting for your breakthrough on the other side. So you have your breakthrough so they can have theirs for your song or your book or your music or your artwork or your frequency. And so this is what we're going to be doing at Activate Your Mastery, the online embodied summit. It starts February 24th. It's 3 days and it's 3 sessions. It's an activated summit activation of 3 days. And Jessica Hadari will be presenting on day 2. We have Leola and Tara, beautiful transformational guide and priestess, will be offering on day 1. And then day 3, Rachel Rickards will be a beautiful facilitator of embodied intimacy, will be presenting on day 3. And then I will be guiding transmissions and healing, quantum healing and light code activations. And we will be opening and gridding this new divine feminine leadership energy for the new activated divine feminine leaders of New Earth. And so join us and step into this beautiful container of light. The link is above in the captions to join us. And if you haven't signed up already, and the links are all going out, and join us. And it's on Zoom. It's online and it is recorded. And so I invite you to join us and take your step and take your place in the sacred circle and join with us. And Jessica, before we close, what is one last thing you'd love to bestow or share with the beautiful sisters that are listening today?
Yes, what just came through just as you were asking that is just this it's almost like in this moment, like you were saying, astrologically, there's just a lot going on. It's also just a busy time of year. I just feel like February into March is always just like there's so many plates to spin, and just busy women up to amazing things. My deepest prayers and intentions that I would love to just like call in for everyone as we move through the rest of this week and into this beautiful weekend with you, Jennifer, with all of us, is just deep, pristine self-care, and just any place to just weave in just a little more spaciousness, any place to just weave in a little more nourishment, even if it's something as simple as anointing your feet with oil, or when you're out, walking your doggies, not taking your phone with you, just being in that moment, outside, just finding those little places for a little more space, a little more nourishment. Just spaciousness and nourishment. That's
I love it.
my wish. Yeah.
I love it. I just, as you go within, then you can go out. And so we will be going within and opening this within each of you. And I just have a question is, who do you want to be? And what is your soul calling you to be? And what is your heart opening, wanting to share with the world? And if you had that sacred container and that support, would you feel more confident to do it? And what are you calling in? And I invite you to join us and to shine your light and to be that beacon of divine love and unique energy that you are meant to share with the world and to be. And I send you so much love. And we will see you at the Activate Your Mastery Summit this weekend. And you can see Jessica and you can join with us and 500 divine feminine leaders that are all a yes to opening this and walking this new message for the new golden age. And I send you so much love, sister. And thank you, Jessica, for your time and your wisdom and your beautiful energy. And I'm so honored to have this conversation. And I send you so much love, beloveds. Everyone who's joined us and is listening to this, I just invite you to ask yourself, are you ready to unlock your sacred full potential and to really fully step in your truth and stand on your truth and share it with the world? And if you're a yes, join us. And I send you so much love. I'm Jennifer Ashira of Light Priestess Temple. And join us this weekend. And I send you so much love and blessings, sister. Thank you so much, sister. I send you so much love. And I can't wait to see you this weekend.
Me too. Me too. Me too.
Much love. And much love, everyone. See you this weekend at Activate Your Mastery. Much love.